Alright, so we've been talking about Dragon Ball games a lot in the past couple weeks, specifically with the upcoming Dragon Ball The Breakers, or as I'm going to call it, Dragon Ball Ball Breakers, or Ball Breakers, whatever. Let's talk about the future of other Dragon Ball games, specifically with, I guess, the expansion of Dragon Ball FighterZ and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. At this point, we all kind of accepted that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 will probably never happen, and they're just going to keep focusing on the individual games that they made. Because let's be real, they did a good job giving us a little bit of everything else in the Dragon Ball sphere, and then just, if they keep updating those games, it's not necessarily the worst. Now, obviously, those games have their flaws. You know, Dragon Ball FighterZ, if it ever got rollback netcode, it would be amazing. One of the best fighting games of all time. If Xenoverse ever got its netcode even just slightly improved, it'll be one of the best 3D arena fighters of all time. You know, these games can continuously improve in those aspects, and we probably might not get those. However, as long as we get something, that's not the worst. That makes sense. Because the thing is, end of the day, FighterZ is still very playable. Xenoverse is very playable sometimes. And whatever other game they have out there is still very playable for what they're kind of going for, you know, if that makes sense. And at this point, it's pretty obvious what their big goal is going to be here on out is to keep updating these games. You know, like Dragon Ball Legends and Dokkan are killing on the mobile game front. These games get updates every single week. And they keep improving those. And then on top of that, building out the community to kind of give those player bases what they want. You know, we got FighterZ, who's been kind of lacking in content just because, like, it's a bit more difficult to like add updates for those games, but like really the big goal for games like FighterZ is you drop that big patch, you kind of see what the problem is the next season, and then you improve on that. You rinse and repeat. But what the game's really lacking right now is content in regards to something refreshing and new. You know, the last patch that dropped was actually a big breath of fresh air. Like what they did with that game was great. We just need the characters now to go with it. You know, personally, something I would love to see, and in the comment section below if you want to also participate and let me know your own thoughts with this. What I would love to see in a game like FighterZ is I want to see them add more characters like Future Gohan, for example, or maybe even Turles, or Vegeta. Majin Vegeta specifically is what I meant. You know, I know that big joke is like, oh, here we go, another Goku added to the game. Guess what? This is Dragon Ball, motherfucker. They always are going to have a different variation of Goku in these games, whether it be Goku Black, Turles, or the many different Gokus who are already in the game. That's perfectly fine. Which is why we need some Vegeta love, man. Give me a Majin Vegeta. You know, if you guys remember, Majin Vegeta has one of the most brutal fight styles out of all the other Vegetas that exist, you know, and even seeing something like the final explosion and tossing in a dramatic finish with that would be amazing. Give me that, man. So yeah, comment section below, let me know which characters you would love to see in the next season of Dragon Ball FighterZ, because the only reason I talk about this is because, like, I don't want this to be one of those situations where we keep asking for more content for FighterZ and it's not going to come out. They actually mentioned a while back, like a couple of recent weeks ago, talking about that they're looking forward to all the content they're going to drop in 2022. So it obviously means they are working on something. We don't know what that is yet, you know, and we'll probably get more information as we get more of these tournaments coming up in the near future. I mean, the problem is we got this stupid pandemic that's been going on for the past 2 years, and it's kind of difficult to really, you know, still adjust and adapt to that situation with the world, unfortunately. So they're doing their best. But in the comment section below, let me know which characters you want to see the most in Dragon Ball FighterZ in the near future, in 2022. And let's see where most of you guys stand. For me, like I said, it's definitely Future Gohan, Majin Vegeta, and honestly, the third one is a big one, is Whis, you know. Whis is an interesting one, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, we never seen him fight, you know. It doesn't matter. They added Whis in past games. Whis is in Xenoverse. Whis was in Battle of Z. Whis was in just those games. But, you know, we even have Whis in Legends, which I know is a mobile game, but basically they have kind of a concept of how this character would fight. And I, as a Beerus man, would just love to play as Beerus and Whis. It'd be kind of like a little fun, refreshing touch to the game. But we probably would never get Whis, let's be honest. You know, they probably will do something more like Majin Vegeta, Future Gohan, in those realms of those kind of characters, you know. I would also love to see a Super Boot. That'd be kind of fun and creative with how that character fights. But yeah, comment section below, give me your wish list or your dream characters you want to see in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, a big one I want to talk about is Xenoverse. Xenoverse is an interesting game because it's been out since 2015 with the first game, and then 2016 with the sequel, and for like the last 5 years, going on to 6 now, they had just been updating it, and they literally released everything possible in the game. At this point, all we're really missing are those lame in-between forms that people kind of care about, but not really. So stuff like, if we were to get, like, let's say, second form Frieza, Dildo Frieza, or like second form Cell. I mean, you might as well at this point. We have imperfect Cell. You might as well get the next form of Cell, and I would not be surprised if we get that at some point. And we also have stuff like, you know, the UI Goku still coming out. And look, I still stand by it. I believe when we had that vote a couple weeks ago, actually a couple months ago now, we're probably going to get Dispo at some point, along with all the other characters in that list. You know, we got that coming out at some point in 2022. They're working on it as we speak. So comment section below, what is it that you guys personally want to see with Xenoverse 2? Now I know I'm gonna get some people who are gonna be like, Rhyme, shut up, no one cares with Xenoverse 2. You could not be more wrong with that. Xenoverse 2 is still one of the most played Dragon Ball games of all time. That game has like 1 million+ players, so it's kind of crazy how people are still into Xenoverse. And the reason why, it's a good game. It's got flaws, a lot of flaws, balance out the window. It makes you angry, but guess what? We come back every single day and we keep playing that game because it's a lot of fun. So I'm telling you, the game is fun. We will play it, you know. And but yeah, comment section below, what is it that you guys personally want to see with the improvement of this game? You know, I honestly don't really know. Like I said, I feel like I've already gotten every single character I wanted in that game, and this is why I was wondering, like, if they ever were to do a Xenoverse 3, what would they even do at this point? You know, it's like we have literally every single important character, and at this point, if they ever drop Xenoverse 3 with really the addition of like those in-between characters like Dildo, Frieza, and things like that, it just wouldn't really make that much sense. I mean, honestly, if they ever were to revisit another Dragon Ball 3D Arena Fighter, which we will get at some point in the next couple years, I want to see actual factions like I mentioned before. You know, I've talked about this so many times. If you're going to do a time patroller thing, let me do time patrollers versus time breakers. You know, if I can choose to be a bad guy versus choose to be a good guy and then show like the overall factions and the rest of like the online sphere, that would be so cool. And imagine all like the fun PvP wars we could do. Good guys versus bad guys. Let me get that. Let me get a story where I get to play as a time breaker. You know, kind of like what Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure 2, that is. You know, remember how they had like you follow the bad guy path and the good guy path, and at the end it all like converges together. Stuff like that would be so hype. We're probably never gonna see that, but that's all I can really see if they were ever to do a sequel. But as far as the main aspect and core of the game, it's always going to be the same. You know, we'll still have very similar issues. The netcode will be ass, and it's kind of all over the place. That's why I always say I'd rather get a brand new ground up 3D Arena Fighter for a Dragon Ball game as opposed to Xenoverse 3, because at that point you have a chance to kind of like really fix all the issues that were present in the game to begin with, you know. And I'm hoping to see that at some point. We'll see. But yeah, like the Dragon Ball world is so cool to me right now because it's like you have literally a little bit of everything. Comment section below, what are your favorite kind of games that hasn't been touched by Dragon Ball yet? You know, I'll be real. When they announced Dragon Ball Breakers, my first thought was like, they could have done a MOBA, you know? I'm not a big fan of MOBA, but I know when Pokemon Unite came out, that was a big deal. And MOBAs in general are just really, really popular. And I can see a huge market being there for a Dragon Ball MOBA at some point, you know? Or you can do like a team-based fighter similar to Shinobi Strike, which I guess will be Xenoverse. But there's a lot of options of games you can do under the Dragon Ball umbrella. And that's something that has me super excited to being a Dragon Ball fan. Like every single time they announce a new game, I'm like, let's see how it plays first. I'm not gonna lie to you. Dragon Ball Breakers looks incredibly jank, super jank. But like, it looks like one of those games that's gonna be so fun to play. You hop online with your friends. If you're a streamer, especially a content creator, there's gonna be a lot of content you can make around it. But it's not gonna be one of those games where you're gonna want to just like wake up every single day and sweat. Like, I mean, that's what you have games like Xenoverse and Fighters for. Or I guess to some of you guys, Legends as well. Maybe starting to play Dokkan heavily. But like, I like the fact that we all have that one game under the Dragon Ball realm that we can just keep playing every single day and just kind of keep waiting for the next big game to come out. Because one thing I never liked about, you know, following franchises is always getting the same game. Well, sometimes it could be a good thing. The bad thing is over the course of many years, you get really bored. And the best example for me is I always like to use Call of Duty. Call of Duty is not a bad game. The problem with Call of Duty is once you played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 1, or Modern Warfare, I should say, on the PlayStation, 3, Xbox 360, to now to the point we got Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone, it's always been the same game. And while it does get very exciting when you play the game upon release, you realize you're playing the same game over and over again. So always getting that fresher breath air with a different kind of game in the Dragon Ball umbrella has always been cool to me. And I want to see more with what they do with this, you know? Again, it's a double-edged sword. Like, it could be good, but the bad side could be the game could be ass. Because the biggest problem I have with Kakarot coming out is when they announced Kakarot, I knew this is going to be a game that I'm going to play literally for like a month and then that's it. Nothing wrong with that because it was a pretty fun month. I think I have like 300+ hours in Kakarot, and to this day I still think Kakarot is a pretty good game for what it is. But the problem is like after the month you're just like, all right, well, I'll see you in a year and a half. And then of course that year and a half passes and then the game drops. It's potentially bad, which could be ball breaker. But again, for me specifically, with how much I play games like Friday the 13th with my friends and just party games in general, I can't wait to play that, and I can't wait to see what else you can do with that. Again, the game looks like a big mess, you know, but we'll find out in a couple weeks now when they drop the actual beta, and hopefully the game is like fun enough to the point where it's something that we can do with friends on top of all the other games. And I'm gonna keep seeing the updates. So hard to speak sometimes. Keep seeing the updates that they do for other games in the meantime, like Xenoverse, which I have on the background literally right now, and Fighters. Really, my biggest one right now is I want to see them do something with Fighters because like the game just needs it. I feel like them taking a break in Season 4 was a big mistake because they took a lot of momentum away. Like, FighterZ right now is like, again, there's still a lot of people to play it, but it needs something that will keep it going other than that patch that they dropped. Like, even with Xenoverse, they drop those DLCs every couple months, and it just keeps the game going and going and going and going. It feels super, super fresh. Whereas with FighterZ, they drop an update like once a year and a half, and then they're like, all right, go figure out what y'all want to do. Like, come on, Bandy Namco, help us out. Do something for us. At least if they tell us, like, hey, this is what we're going to plan on doing, it'll kind of breathe more excitement into it. But for right now, it's just kind of up in the air. So for me, FighterZ is my #1 game where I want to see them do something with it in 2022 and see where that game goes. So by the way, comment section below, what are you most excited for as far as update-wise for the games? So yeah. We're gonna go ahead and end the video right here. I'm gonna go play some Xenoverse right now. I'm not even kidding, for fun, and see where that goes. But comment section below, let me know your thoughts on everything you talked about and what you want to see as far as updates for FighterZ Xenoverse and anything else. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. My name is Rhymestyle. I'll see you in the comment section below. Peace.